However, you'll need to move closer to people that I want to draw with.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
You all set?
I think so. Are you joining the session or doing AV?
Well, neither. I'm Elmer.
I know. I recognize
Good to
you.
meet you. Hi.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching.
He wants group activity.
Yeah, you guys do group activity at work.
Okay.
You're all set up.
Yes.
You go yell at people down in the breakfast room?
I'm going to go yell at some people down in the breakfast room because there's still a lot of people down there eating bagels.
So, I'll ask, what time should I actually start?
I'd give it 4 more minutes.
Yeah, I give it like 3 or 4 more minutes because let people percolate up a little bit.
Okay.
It's a casual conference sometimes.
Of course.
Particularly.
Friday morning.
Discussions about the British simulation. Yeah. Yep. Right. Do you folks know Jenna?
I am Jenna. John, we met when you spoke at WVU. Oh, I'm sorry.
And this is Deb.
I'm sorry. Nice to meet you.
Deb.
Hi. Deb, we've emailed each other about those books.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Hi, thank
Oh,
you.
it's a paper.
Good idea.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jenna.
Which is not in West Virginia.
I told you.
So technically,
So I'll suggest
Marjorie is
that you move towards 758 left. And for the format, I think 5 is, we're probably better off with 3, sort of, groups of course 3 work best. We have a small crowd, so
Go away.
plenty of work for that sort of 2-3 is optimal. I don't want too many groups, so that's why I allowed 5.
The state boundaries between Maryland. Maybe that's why.
Please do.
You brought cookies.
I always ask for cooking. Someday I have
Well, what-
So,
what
and
is-
since
Last person to join had to bring.
right.
Oh, okay.
And your name is? Eve.
We're going to collaborate.
Please give me the free copy.
John, join you. We're going to
Wow. Wow.
You can assign.
Blue Ridge Mountains, the low water mark of the Shenandoah River.
Somebody designs it. Right. Wow.
Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
Jason.
Correct.
And Sharon.
And Sharon.
I knew that.
Hey, Justin. That's fine.
All right.
Justin just really bugs me for some reason.
And read it to you every night. Read it to you every night to put you to sleep.
I'll try and remember all of them.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Terrible, of course.
I just.
I really enjoyed that. I was thinking of going back and training my cat. Every day.
That's good. That's good.
See if they finally
Grew up knowing where that
Yeah.
That's very technical.
I actually, my little thought I was doing a very different exercise. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that probably.
Yes.
Oh,
Does it every morning,
try to get it.
and he says, it's Friday, June 16th, I'm off to Canada. I won't have it today.
Or
So the reality is,
Thank you.
they don't have Wi-Fi
Where were you hosting?
last year.
Yeah.
Really pull on it to get it out.
Yeah,
It's,
I keep trying to untwist it. Oh, my God. John was daring us to leave. No, I've got security.
I've been through security dozens of times.
Yeah, no, right, they don't.
It's sharp, but it's for, the idea is if your car goes underneath the high water mark, you can smash out the window and swim to Virginia.
Google me. Everything.
All right, so what's our initial brainstorm?
Yeah, there you go. It's not cat freaking.
Salute.
And I have a dog.
I don't
Thank you.
Go.
Something is more fun, but you go.
I don't know. I really have it
Everything in there.
Your favorite color?
No, my hair color is green.
That I like French movies. Yeah.
Subtitle.
And I can't cripple along with the.
Working on pick up the Christmas skills to be woke.
Oh. Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's wine.
What do we have here? Can we get something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, we have a list.
A list.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Your skills, list from,
Wait, but that's. I mean, yeah, I
I'd say you have blind spots.
Yeah, I think he's right.
Okay. I think my school does at least a little of all of the things that I would apply.
Even if it does a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay, that's fair.
I work with lawyers. They have many blind spots. I hope you can find some of them. And it's okay if they're obscure. These don't have to be kind of what are the core problems. These can be.
No, I get it. I'm not sure.
I actually really I like the notion that Professor thinks like action kids they let you out earlier. I think so. It's hilarious. Well, I mean, the paper says it's 19, so. right. Thank you, that's really good.
We're also we started a little late, so I'm sort of running 2 days behind.
Okay.
But you're welcome to go ahead if you're done with that.
Thank you.
Are we done with our list?
Let's share. Let's see what we got.
You want to start? Who would like to start with the first?
Oh.
Business plan.
Brainstorm.
All right.
Understanding.
Right, so we're supposed to individually pick our 2 up 2, and then share those.
Social skills.
Sure. Not being a lawyer, law professor.
My own that stuff.
But then I always stop.
Showing one.
Hi there.
Or any of our plenary speakers who's telling us how to do that.
So we're doing group work?
My first one would be systematic.
Like library school.
All right. Sorry, I'm late.
I only have 3. The other one is what I call
Really, I'm
reproducibility.
shocked.
Some people are good at it, some others probably aren't.
Well, why don't you?
So,
Yeah.
it's similar to systematic thinking in the sense that
Right.
lawyers get responses of the scope.
I'm right on target.
So, consider everything reproducible.
Share something with ourselves. Most things about me are on Google. There, that's a thing.
Be able to pluck out the memo, the document, the letter, template. Without having to work on your system instead of working on problems in front of you.
I was going to say, I think our students have the opportunity. They are so dependent on templates and forms and things.
Yeah.
Favorite 2 of all.
About how to cite it. Do you know what I mean? Like
I can't just come in and take over your group.
What I mean by this is you have to develop your own to be able to understand the ones that
I mean, it's not necessarily the opposite.
Well, I've seen.
I can tell you ones that I'm attracted to. I like the idea of facilities.
First, effective and efficient
And the ability to recognize failure before it is.
Don't you library faculty who are also lawyers don't do.
I think we're closing around some decisions.
Clearly,
That's my 2.
I like an idea.
So it's that, sort of the opposite.
making
So
sure to
it's
get
how to
everything
kind of,
out.
I call it document production, right?
One,
Like how do
few
you
fewest
produce the document and then use for other things, but without, or use the document that's already been out there, but think about seriously as opposed to just.
And my other top one.
This is more of an example.
The other one
This was an experimental
is
idea.
writing effectively. So what I mean is like, again, the basics of it, right? Like, just grammar, synergy, syllogism, like the things that become incredibly relevant in law school, but that they.
You mean persuasively? Persuasive writing?
It's not just persuasive writing. It comes up in persuasive writing as well. Like it's just some of them like they write for an emoji text. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like they and so they don't seem to have the skills to translate that into perspective.
Oh, you're.
Well, I mean, the 2 top things that
Are you giving it to them well in advance of all of their normal courses? Yeah, so they all freak out this time they get it.
What do I think? I thought some years were right on. I thought number 2 in particular, though, I'd make it clear.
Yeah.
And then on my list, I wasn't trying to put it.
Much larger.
Doing it in the library.
Maybe putting together communication and social.
Back, the spring break just came in, so we're all getting deluged.
Through professional.
Right, a law, or a legal problem is a problem, and lawyers have to be the problem solver. Solutions and legal solution all the time.
They have to get
I knew.
information.
Right.
You know, law firms
I
apparently
got
teach people this. You came in, you'd be like, at this, tell me, because I never did this stuff. When you're at a reception, hold the drink for the hand so that you can be shaking hands with your right hand and never have two things, because then you can't shake hands with people. And she told me that, I was like,
Right.
what an interesting, bizarre, basic skill, but
complex.
you told me I've been at a reception and I didn't know stupid things. Okay, so there's that, but
The reality is
they don't know, or that we don't teach them.
all the pressures of the naked court.
So the trial system or the court system were
What have we found to be
successful? You know,
And I doing it. Well, this
okay.
On the communication.
listening is analog. Valuable stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then something else which really oh yes. And then yes, now you're not wrong in an attitude that you work from.
Humiliation.
It's amazing how perfect that you can.
They're looking for.
God, I've read so much stuff from that's our even from law professors. It's horrible. If you law professors, you have a problem.
Oh, this is great. Thank you.
It's my wife, who's a journalism major, and did journalism for 10 years.
What is the skill?
And I'm like, awesome. She's a journalist, just
They don't bury the lead.
they don't bury the lead.
They go right to the
They,
point.
you know, the paragraphs line up into like a coherent thoughts. Yeah, so good writing is a joy, but it's
LinkedIn.
Right. We make a mistake.
You know, maybe
I think they make lots of mistakes.
Yeah, so,
but I mean, then they think I'm.
But to the point that non-specific source
Who's actually doing anything? Because they don't want to so make a mistake.
and that person,
Make a mistake and
this
lose
is
it.
me.
That is big in K-12 education right now.
even like
It has a big impact on student outcomes, and there are
That's
great
litigation, and that means you're
with unprofessional process.
No, they don't.
So the
All
time
that is
management.
too bad.
So, yeah, one of
No,
the
you got dinged because you hired a crappy contractor in the city.
I think there's got to be a way to get around the pessimism.
because that, prioritize.
No, but,
the task and getting that feedback. And I think
Here's some better way to say it.
about listening. If you're really listening, then you can
Pick a group, join it, and figure it out.
Council.
Our students go, they tend to go into large organizations, whether they're
But you will need to join a group. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You will do absolutely nothing if you're not in a group. Unless you want to do it alone.
So, sure, you can't really multitask. Not a big, important thing.
Gotta get into the next thing.
I meant both of these groups ought to be moving on to this.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
I'll let you finish your thought.
I have infinite resources.
Which one?
One skill.
John,
We need to take one skill. I'm Pete by Marjorie. Nice to meet you. Sorry I'm running late.
Oh, yeah, from the last.
So we've now got
Yes.
to
One
decide
can't-
which skill.
Recognition, denial, recognition.
Which is a time management.
Yeah.
Time management. I think time management. That's really good.
Sure.
Oh, that's
Settle that.
Good one.
I'm
A lot of
just
lawyers
messing
struggle
with
with
your
that.
black.
No, actually, I think the right second would actually be working on an online class.
Only other systems, systemic thinking.
No, you're right.
I'm willing to be persuaded, but I don't find that academic.
See, that's certainly what we talk about.
What, writing is
Certainly better have good time management.
all right. So Google's our engineering team, Justice, what activities to help you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like there have to be examples of
It's a lot of,
But it's more than just, right, but it's more than just doing, because if you write badly a lot, like you just write, you're practicing bad writing. So
To put time limits on things,
the being of
whether to make a student track their time and then put time limits.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So if you have a
So
There's always something where don't
Yes.
don't
Right, exactly.
But remember, we're supposed to be thinking as if literally we have infinite level of intercept.
and say,
So if they had infinite
you have X amount of time to do this.
I mean, I'd still start with small.
You don't get to leave even years, right? You're only allowed to work 3 hours.
Initially.
So you have that counted.
well, scarce resources is now the students.
Now, is that going to hamper their learning?
Can't give them
You
a
know, their
power
exploration of
to
materials,
practice
resources, you know, maybe it's something for later on in this.
How would you
Are you going to do it?
20? So then
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about telling about the back end.
Yeah, I think that just makes it a little too cute.
right, where you drop a writing assignment,
bad.
it's single class.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about it, but, you know,
Nobody does that.
And you still ended up in law school, so it couldn't have been there.
Your Honor.
Okay, it seems awfully callous at someone's some true tragedy, but
Yeah, you have to write a client. You have to write a client email.
It's a decision tree off.
2 hours.
which activity?
So, the idea there is
At the same time, okay, so
not an automated, I hope you're not talking about automated essay.
we're imagining you could,
That's the proof, you could grab track. But you could do
More than we
assisted
can.
grading or assisted feedback, things that say, look for these things.
Right, at that time, some relevance to it, so they actually have to read it.
Right.
Or,
So good faculty, or in fact, I've heard of faculty that like create
and some not relevant to
spreadsheets
them,
for
but
the
super important
final
because it's
exam,
from the
and then
Supreme
they
Court.
read, they do the check boxes.
Being interrupted.
That's the
Rubric, that's the word I was looking for, yeah.
And then,
So the
Tragic that it's
rubrics for writing assignments is,
it's so hard to simulate it.
there's a piece that's
Oh, yeah, that's
so
going
you
to
have
require some
mentors.
sacrifice on the part of the
Mentors are about relationships. Yeah, so they need a piece that.
Yeah, absolutely.
let's get to that one in a second.
You want to do this
Solve the,
multiple
you know,
times,
we
right?
had a,
Once is, because that's just.
we had a publicly
The mentorship
available
of
data
going
bank of
talking
10,000 rubrics
at various
covering
points,
almost every possible, because remember
about
the resources,
Right,
every
the choices you
possible
made.
legal writing assignment,
The advice I can give
big
you.
and small. You know,
Is-
and so students could, sort of like examples and explanations.
So we're not really designing anything.
And assignments, practice on.
Well, you can use technology to do that.
You know, have face-to-face interaction with these people.
Yeah, and faculty can pluck them out and maybe.
Does it say, well, you can use technology.
Then, like, this totally didn't happen.
Technology.
But it totally didn't happen.
Right.
Three things where the
And yes, I think the Google Flex engineering team would be somewhat wasted on.
So it's not always native defendant, it's, you know, Marion, John, Paul, Bill, so that students sort of can't tell that they're all trying to say the same. Like document assembly templates for legal writing assignments.
I mean, that part, I could
Sorry, what do you mean by
You fail everybody. Fail in grade. And then you see how they respond.
Work is
And that's
work is my identity.
the Shyamalan.
I'm doing consistent and good work, and then I have it.
I thought you were going to go a different direction with that.
But,
So isn't what you just described, though, composition?
it's some kind of larger.
Well, but if that were to happen.
Moral integrity.
That's in part, John. It seems to me that that's what a mentor does. We used to essentially instill a sense of certain honor, being who you are, being genuine, and that's right, really. And technology for our schools, that is, but it's giving justice. No, it is. We have a skill. I suspect
Right.
What are individual?
Their generation thinks poorly of the writing of that generation.
I'm reading this.
They did. It's a different.
I started not serious writing in high school and got feedback.
There are a lot of it.
Oh,
Just a simple qualitative like list.
Long form reading.
yeah.
Long form.
But anywhere too.
Right.
Assessment, but not in a state.
Yeah.
Much more in a long.
Right.
Anyway, slide.
No, go ahead.
This is a side point. There's a
Question is, how would we,
a couple of my colleagues wrote
how would you?
legal writer.
Yeah, we're already
Sorry.
Pretty common text in email or don't use
How would you finish your sorry, how do you duplicate something like that? Like
which
this
is
personal
amazing.
I've never heard that.
understanding that the
And it's like,
Well, so that's money,
if
right?
you don't think that it's
You put a pool of money out there.
Yes.
You know, it's Uber tours. Uber tours.
But that also sounds.
Okay, I
So what happens when you get a
It prepares-
devastating?
All right, so you got to give them a test before you let them be a tutor.
You've done
Yeah, bootstrap.
you haven't prepared your presentation well.
Places that have.
I hope they get it in my class rather than in their classes.
Like how
Well, you're going to get it everywhere.
Yeah.
At some point.
And forever. I mean, there's always going to be somebody.
So there's what? There's breaking that into pieces.
How would you integrate, for example,
Do
law
I have to
cases?
do like?
The phrase you carry about it. How would you integrate things like law cases that larger developed? A typical course, you know, I said in my level cases in a lecture format or, you know, depending on how would you integrate them into the activity?
So I actually can do.
Because that's something we can hit. I mean, hit the ground running and do these.
Someone's.
Absolutely. And they're different.
It's internalizing it.
Small writing prompts, like,
But I think
tell me
that
what
gets
you
to
meant
your ethical point.
or take the legal theory and write draft a hash pattern for it. That will fit to
Yeah,
Pick yourself back up.
That's what I was getting at.
You know, this is what I'm about as a
set it
professional.
on that. Sometimes that makes them write basically stories that get at the issues.
It's the intrinsic motivator.
Stories, sometimes they have them teach lessons, and all sorts of friends.
But then when you're mentioned,
But I don't know if I
you don't do a good job, you really didn't prepare well, you really missed the point, you didn't dive deep diving on it.
writing a skill. Do you know what I mean? Like I think those
Who says,
related.
the highway through the park?
Criticism.
Well,
Like that.
what they do.
Oh, okay.
So we're supposed to take a lesson from a whole through the process. Second,
Your work did not end somewhere along the line.
it doesn't, well, it's a different one. Right.
The informal ones are the ones you choose. Not to get away too far from it. But yeah, I mean, I've had lots of people who speak.
Having to explain.
Yes,
to
yes.
clear.
Right, and their goal was
You know, so I think it has great applicants.
Luckily, I've not had that too much.
Well, what I do now is
Yeah.
I do them practice. Use that to help them. Sometimes they also do client they use additional things that maybe to think about. Or
there you go.
I thought we were going to do this again about time.
Yeah.
How do you handle it? What happens?
right, no, drafting is a very specific skill level.
After
Different.
case is decided, right, the lawyer's lost
From start to finish.
about am I in the wrong profession?
What would you do differently?
You know,
Having.
Oh, right, sorry.
Well, he was a good friend.
We could do a lot of that, but
You
I
could do that.
pushback all the time.
I don't know.
You're very welcome to join your group. You may have a hard time catching up at this point, but essentially what we did is we started out by listing skills
So,
Simulated.
how many times in your class I heard you
lawyers need, but with
debate
with
the time?
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
We had a better process. It's because they're new.
Well, I don't
There
know.
were times, so it's.
Things like active listening, time management,
Yeah.
being
Right.
able to understand business risk management, negotiation, that sort of thing. The groups came up with,
I already feel like we don't do it.
in one case, some skills on communication, in one case, time
Relatively
management, in one
well-documented
case,
cases
how to manage
and
failure.
Right.
The next step
That's correct in the
things
doctrine.
would you
Because you have tools,
that's
lots
old
of
school,
communication.
We're the only.
So simple as like a dashboard.
who works for you, you can get your S&P 500
They're
business. What activities would you create?
Client code. And then they can see
Where we are, the next one was to integrate legal cases and legal activities. So instead of the activity, how will you have that writing activity be around legal cases? So you still have legal theory and legal knowledge, which is law school students can teach. And right now we just look to the next slide, which is going from there to now limited.
So,
Okay.
but I feel like, my
And that is what the groups are working on.
academic environment,
You're welcome to join one
undergrad,
of the groups. And then when
where
we
you got 2 weeks to do an assignment,
probably a little later,
the last day you kind of hurry up and get it all together, and that's how I've been assigning. Okay, well, make sure you have 2 weeks because I know you got a lot of other stuff.
So students can video conference
And
together.
they do it once a day.
That's a no-brainer.
Right.
They critique each other's work. So that sounds.
So I don't know if that is still valuable. But I also don't
You guys know what GitHub is?
I can listen, drop everything that was
well, because
you have to complete this last 2 minutes surprise, and have the doctrinal faculty
there was a lot of work.
his supervisor and say, what the hell is this thing?
Quality, but very kind of
Or you can look at the code and say,
there's some work
on the folder, here I've done it.
it's sort of
The person who owns the code can say,
do a lot of very good work as well. As a sort of thing, the initial hype wave was sort of, I would say,
In many places it might, but it still like.
So like,
schools do are
Like
specifically,
every business law professor.
I would say, following
basically
rules.
puts in
librarian faculty.
I wasn't thinking, I wasn't also there, but yeah, but I am thinking essentially like GitHub for students.
So where do you have time to play?
Right,
Where multiple
Friday
people can be working on
afternoons?
what's called the trunk. Before
World
and then
of
remerge
criminal?
as
It
they
boosts your grade by
video
half a
conference.
point.
Oh.
And then there's the machine learning.
Oh, yeah.
Coincidentally,
Which is a new technology.
Good programmers write code that tests their code.
extra credit.
They'll need a
So in the
Bring in a
legal writing
practitioner from local.
sense, right, you have reads your writing, think Grammarly or Perfected or WordPress, comes up with ways to improve writing.
So you can talk about that.
Those are
Perhaps
written
after
for
the session,
general purpose.
because that is a topic that
Those
that is that group right there.
to legal
changes
writing,
everything.
even
But
better,
There's another
to
name on the
specific
patent
legal writing.
application,
Legal
too.
writing is like,
Well, just to kind of get us onto moderate, what you kind of talked about.
your own little bit
How
of
you
language
use
and
it.
emphasis.
Oh, sure.
My only concern about it would be that,
Starting out with pictures and super presenting pretty cool.
my only concern is that it sounds like, and maybe I'm just getting, that you have to have some basic proficiency with tech and code.
So you do with your help, but the deal here is, to the user, it just looks like a
It's
dashboard.
amazing.
Think
Yeah.
Facebook.
Because recent
You know, it's got places, or better, think infographics, you know, that show you, that, like, the current state of our project, it's like, it's red stars, you know, there's a problem.
You're talking about
Or other people have
like
flagged.
Skype,
Where
Things like that, so,
someone come in and model.
it's not a geeky room,
Yeah.
And then
so they'll understand it.
So, the process for
to show how
that, if we wanted to just pursue it, I guess, is the option to pull it.
Yeah, let's say
and
it's.
subscribe to.
Take one.
And dogs living together.
No,
just
no,
like in
I
the
give
streets.
it Susan a little more.
Yeah,
I write
that.
the first one down. And need to let you see it.
That's the thing. That's the technology we're not gonna.
Or,
Okay, so how?
I mean,
It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be good. But it does need to be there since you're presenting about 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes. We got.
You got it.
And you make it the B one.
yeah, you want the technology to do its assistant, or its,
What I'm
optional.
thinking about it.
Pulling from
You could do a pre-test.
Westlaw, pulling from
There are
Lexus.
Yeah.
tracks, writing skills, foreseeability, and my tracks. And you could have more kind of story for any features that are right.
Right.
So here's the bucket of all human knowledge as encompassed by databases. From those,
I love that bringing that in because it keeps it from festering for a week or whatever. I mean, it kept it moving.
Well, if you're using your line, what you talked about with students can
so we think that's the best for us.
So there's
So they are the stats.
Figure out where they
Right,
are.
right,
where
right.
they're good enough.
Yes,
Well, there was a winner. We don't
we're going to be focused.
So the first
We're focusing on that.
come in,
So then we're going to just what?
and then you give them the basic diagnostic test about.
So we are in the middle of group work.
And
But
then
then you missed whatever features
identify
you
what
got
kind
so
of
far.
Present
Present
student,
student,
Well, you're wrong
like
by
5
here.
minutes or so, 3
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
It might be, yes.
You don't want
You'll have it for the very end.
a lot of them.
Right, that's,
Maybe the student or portion of the student body that I don't understand this sentence.
So here, we'll do that by having every student have a profile.
Take a look
Each
at
have we'll call it.
their background, their history.
So badges for,
You left the room and you changed.
Good.
what, pre-test.
Like
Try to
grammar,
start drawing as well,
composition,
because I'm presenting it in just a couple of minutes.
not even.
I'd recommend drawing something very soon. because
drawing
we're-
something?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so just say.
We're presenting in just a couple of minutes.
No.
What are we doing? Presenting whatever you came up with.
Students can critique each other's
very.
Winning.
It's a lot easier to present if you have a kind of mock-up user interface. It doesn't need to be great. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be good.
Okay, I'll let someone else draw then.
they're drawing this. Big.
A big thing is this.
square paper.
This is it.
No, the little square, the grid paper.
All right, so what are we drawing? What was the idea?
Okay, yes, let's talk about it some more. That was working better.
So you raised a good point of how do you, so, you're doing, and then trying to put.
So, for instance, as part of persuasive writing.
So we're looking at brief history, news, context, all those kinds of things. Kind of distilling it down to, you know, a snapshot in its particular career, right? So we have
Enough background to read it.
There is everything. Right. And what we want the students just to kind of look at this and take a value all about this, like what they like about the writings,
or whether it has
like about
Again, we're testing.
Right.
Okay.
Am I running away with this? I'm sorry.
Right? That's what part of what we did in LRW is.
Okay.
Give them 5 different cases. And say, write a short writing based on these 5 different cases. Each of these cases are points to your background, right? They're all a little different. And so they're taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Right.
That's right. What I think except I think you're trying to tell me
So we are about to move into presentations. We can run a few minutes over since we went for a break. But how close are you guys?
We're maybe 5 minutes from having something worth showing to the world.
So in this design, which is
I was writing this.
So do you guys want to run over? Do you want to run over 5 minutes or go on time?
But
We would
next up,
finish at 10 or 5 presentations.
Yeah, if we had until 9:45, I think.
Okay.
Right.
So this is the student.
I like that we have a blank slate here because it's not a technology question.
So there is a suggestion that we run 5 minutes into the break, if you want. We could start presentations 5 minutes late. What do you think? Are you guys ready, or how close are you guys ready? Okay.
We don't know what we're drawing.
We now have to decide.
We have to draw some.
Draw anything.
I was going to say, I don't feel compelled to do that.
You don't have to, I mean, if you want to present without drawing, that's okay. You can present without drawing.
Inevitably.
You're in charge.
Exactly.
Not facilitating.
So what are the elements we have? We have criticism of criticism of one another. We have piece where we so we should draw a clock.
We'll start presentations about 5 minutes later than we expected.
And we should have someone demolishing someone else because they totally uncomfortably criticized their work.
Yes. It is.
You know going in.
It sounds like, yeah, right there.
It looks great.
I'd like to move law schools to be more like
What are you?
Okay, so it sounds to me like
not a,
two.
Okay.
very difficult to unpack, unpack.
What do you
Essentially, different.
Simple. What I like about simple is it looks like they had.
All right.
Pen to paper, I love it.
Actually, you're sorry. It's already the students.
Your work. That's marked up. It's original.
I'm trying to construct like a technology that kind of
Was a set of
with the
environments.
Projects and have them talk.
So what you'll notice is that each of these groups right now is very actively engaged and focused. And that's not for the rest of the conference. They run sessions like this at many conferences, and that's universally true. You don't say,
Okay. What about?
just close.
For this sort of
Things on a one.
Gotcha.
And it does
Looks like a computer. Looks like a computer.
Looks like a computer. There's technology.
That's right.
It's awkward, but it's also in many ways meaningful and you know. The prep work for this isn't tremendous. I had to modify all of this last night, but I can present it for something like this in less time than a traditional lecture. The students end up doing most of the work. You have to be a little bit failure because some of the students will misrepresent. In most cases, I have people presenting information, so in some cases there are errors. But you know, we have to be a little tolerant of that. But students still learn very well for each other. But
So they're not giving
we
face-to-face.
presentation in 1 minute. So.
And how, and here is.
Having done that,
Yeah.
That sounds like that. Remember the case I was thinking where I was going to write a novel? And then that
So it's similar.
Yeah, no, I had told
Video
my but yeah,
component
it's basically,
in the
I
screen.
want to write that novel.
That can
And
pop
then
up
use that novel
off
as
of
like
the
a jumping off question, organize student ideas around that, right? Like,
Where did we bring in the piece the technology piece where we...
So we are starting presentations in 1 day. Almost everybody wants another extension, but I suspect at that point we'll run a right into break.
We'll be ready.
Okay. So I think you'll go first because you're closest to ready. Then they'll go, and then they'll go.
Sure.
Nice.
I love I've always.
So that's I think.
Okay, yeah.
We are.
However you. It is random.
Okay.
60 seconds. Finish up. We are starting presentations in 60 seconds with the group back there. Then here, and then here.
So that's a good idea.
With modifications.
Yeah, imagine trying to do this.
Right, the anxiety of the patient. Allocated, right?
That's obvious.
So coming up.
Right.
There you go.
Kind of nerdy.
Perfect.
There you go, right?
We won't think any less of it.
That's fair. We're only being recorded.
Memo. You want them to directly,
I think I'm going to do my
We have our first presentation.
All right.
I can hold it. I make a great easel.
All right. Our problem space was that law students don't write good, and so they need to learn. They need to learn how to write better legal writing, better writing generally. I know I'm somewhat oversimplifying, but let's move forward. So the solution, we call it GForce. Which is short for GitHub for Student Legal Writing, G4SLW. If you don't know what GitHub is, and I don't expect anybody in this room to, it's essentially a website where all the programmers in the world put their programs. And some of the ideas were plucked out of that as a model for this. I'll explain it as I go. So I'll use this. Here's a dashboard that essentially describes the pieces, and the main thing down the middle is every project, every writing project has a trunk, right, with a starting point where you put your text, and then the students who have written it or are working together on this project come in and make changes. Maybe they fork and they make a copy, make changes, and then say, I suggest that you make this paragraph look like this. And so it has tools like GitHub, which you don't know, but GitHub has tools that allow you to remerge text back in, and then everybody can see the differences. Think Microsoft's track changes, and then either accept or argue over those with comments, around that, right? So that's the main chunk. Now, the other piece here is there are tools that are similar to things like a word rake, Grammarly, or Perfectit. And in the GitHub world, you would think of those as automated tests. In this case, it's automated tests on your text that basically would write a little report that says, you know, fix this, or warning, this might be ambiguous, or maybe even, you know, positive things like, you know, nice turn of a phrase or something like that. The only comment about that is those tools are general purpose writing tools, and legal writing is a specific writing activity, and it's worse than that or better than that because it's a specific technical activity depending on your area of law or the type of document or writing that you're doing, right? So the right side of the dashboard's got, like, you know, little avatar pictures of the students. If you blow that out, this is a kind of a mini LinkedIn for law students, although that's not a great metaphor. Maybe a better one is a skills transcript, and in this case, a legal writing skills transcript. So certifications or badges that basically say they've shown and demonstrated that they can actually write persuasively or create a good client letter or generate a memorandum of understanding, you know, and so as those things are accomplished by some sort of automated or built-in testing thing, think bar exam level sort of questions or high-stakes testing, you know, they get those. And also below that would be completed or in-progress projects. So demonstrations of their writing and their collaboration that give employers, or I guess in this case, the instructor, sort of a God's eye view that they can see the tree and say, well, you know, this is a great legal writing project and it came out really well, but I see that this student didn't contribute very much. So in the programmer world, sometimes that's done by literally counting lines of code. But there's controversy around that because sometimes one good line of code can make, you know, 100% of the thing. So there has to be some sophistication there, but at least there would be an inventory of completed projects by the student that like says, I have skills. See? That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, you're coming with me.
We're going to need to raise students.
You're just going to help me fill in the blanks. Yes, please. Thank you. So we've identified that law students they have a difficult time coping with failure. So we need to help them learn a certain measure of resilience. And there was lots of talk about how do you cultivate a mindset where it's okay to, you know, not do great. So it's more of a flow chart than an interface, as you can tell. So here we have the bucket of all legal knowledge encompassed by Westlaw, Lexis, Bloomberg. So we're going to pick the best of the best failures. You know, brilliantly written briefs, nuanced legal discussions that and they got to the Supreme Court. They got snacked down, you know, like 8-to-1 decisions kind of stuff. So we're going to take a look. Just chime in if I'm railroading. Okay. So we're going to take a look at all the things that, you know, big data has enabled to learn about attorneys, the briefs they've written, their history, news about the situation, any other further context you need to know about it. And we're going to kind of consolidate all that into like a profile. Like, here's a snapshot you need to know about this attorney, everything about, like, here's the briefs they wrote, here's the situation they're coming up from. And the student is going to go say, I really liked this about it, I didn't like that so much about it. Okay. Here's the things that I think are really strong, here's the things that I think are a little weak, and I don't know how we kind of mask cloak the students from the fact that everything they're looking at is going to be an abject failure. Like, eventually they're going to go through this evaluation like, and they lost. And so now we're going to kind of have a bit of an assessment, like, okay, you are this attorney. What is your coping mechanism? Do you drink? Do you cry? Do you do you meditate? Do you and then we'll kind of, okay, and then this attorney went on to do all these other things. They went back, they argued, 99 times before the Supreme Court, and this was the one time they failed. Or they've never successfully argued in front of the Supreme Court at all, but they kept on, and they are, they're the head of their fervor. They're some kind of enormous philanthropist or something. It's just, losing and being terrible is not the end of the world. It's just a natural part of being a really good lawyer, saying, okay, I've learned from my mistake. I'm going to add this to my skill set. I'm going to keep going.
So the context for this could be in a legal doctrinal class where there's a case where this applies, or it could be in an ethics, professionalism, legal research, anything like that, where you're learning the skills of succeeding in law school, especially that first semester. We could have an expert, if we're at a university where there's a psychology department, have them come in and talk about the stages of failure, which might be like the stages of grief, denial, and anger, and all of those things. We've been on the receiving end of some of those. And we could have them talk first, do an assessment where we ask students, how afraid are you of what would happen if you didn't get an A in this class? And then at the end, ask again, how afraid are you of that? What are your top 3 things that you do to feel better after you failed at something? And ask that again at the end.
Thank you.
Hey, you're going to do that.
You're going to do the same?
Thank you.
Succeeded.
We didn't start drawing until very late. So it looks like a bunch of foxes. All right, so the skill that we were concerned law schools were not teaching was time management, and specifically time management in a particularized assignment. So the model we were working off of was, you have 2 hours to write this client email or this memo or some such document. I was coming at it from an advanced legal research background. These are often the types of work product that I expect in my class. We were interested not only in time management, qua time management, but time management in response to other tasks coming in and feedback. So needing to prioritize and have good listening skills to understand how to improve a product, right? So you can see that we've got 2, this is supposed to be our prompt up here, what's the problem we're working on. This is supposed to be our timer. This is how much time you have to complete this, which starts running when the assignment starts running. And then essentially 2 versions of the work that you would submit, right? Your original and a marked up version from the person giving you feedback. The person giving you feedback, we kind of went around and around on who that would be. We decided it could be one of the mentors recommended by the project. It could be an alumnus of the law school or institution who would be coming in to help out. Could be another student. That feedback would be delivered by video and would pop up on the screen along with the edited student core. So the student could learn about a valuable skill in time management of receiving feedback, which can often be difficult. And also do it in a way that doesn't require the people to be in the same place and can be pre-recorded. So that is, did I leave anything out? No?
Those are the high points.
Okay, those were the high points.
So, what did folks think about this activity, first of all?
It's kind of fun. But it's harder than you think to do.
It's harder to do for students or for instructors?
To put something together.
It's very hard. It's time-boxed, it's tight, it's intense, but that also brings a very high level of focus. It also avoids the problem of perfectionism, hopefully. So, one of the things that, during this activity, main value of the activity, everybody was focused on what they were doing the whole time. During the presentations, the most people who were disconnected at any point was 2. At one point, one person was checking a cell phone, one person was looking at this. That's a much higher level of engagement than I would say you would see at most sessions at CALIcon. And CALIcon actually has very good engagement as far as most conferences. Most conferences, if you put together an activity like this, you go from maybe 1/3 of the room engaged to almost everybody. In a classroom setting, an activity like this will probably be preceded with giving out some sort of handouts. For example, you might focus it around a small number of legal cases that students would be analyzing, but students learn dramatically more effectively in that setting. The other thing is, I did almost no facilitation. This is actually my first time doing almost no facilitation. Everything we did in here could be done in a